Well, happy Monday once again, everyone. Bryan Devore, Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, with another Monday market moment, the first Monday of August already. Last week, we kind of teased it a little bit. We're going to talk about rate this week. How much does interest rate really matter? Well, we'll get into that in just a moment. Let's first look at, as usual, the latest stats. Right now, we have 4,717 homes for sale throughout the county, to drop of 49 from last week. Interesting. Inventory is lower than it had been. The median list price, though, is up to over $1 million, $1,024,900 for the homes that are on the market, with an average days on market of 45. Pending sales 2357. That's a drop also of 23. So smaller drop in number of pendings than in the number of active listings. Median list price of the pending sales also lower, 869.9. No change in average days on market at 27. Months of inventory has been going up week after week over the last, I would say, month and a half. It dropped last week. Kind of interesting. Inventory did go down, sales went up, which we'll get to in a moment. Here is the chart showing total actives and total pendings for the first time since the beginning of July. So about a month or so ago, we saw a drop in total number of actives and a drop in number of pendings as well. Since last week, we saw 805 homes come on the market, the exact same number of homes as last week. I don't think that's happened since we've been keeping track of the Monday market moment. Median list price of those homes, $999, a little bit higher than the ones that came on the market a week prior. 406 homes went pending last week. It's an increase of 4 versus last week, with the median list price of $862, a drop from the ones that went pending the week before. Average days on market, 24. New pendings listed within the last week, 20. New pendings listed within the last 2 weeks, 154. So we continue to see about the same number of homes go into escrow after being on the market for a week or less, about 5%, and 38% are selling in 2 weeks or less. How many homes closed escrow last week? 433. And like we said, months of inventory went down because inventory went down a little bit, but the total number of closed sales last month went up by 23. Median list price $950, a big jump over last week. Median sales price $955, also a jump over last week. Average days on market 23, 2 more days. Least expensive sale was in El Cajon last week, $100,000. Rancho Santa Fe once again had the highest sale. It says 14,500, $14,500,000. The chart showing new actives, new pendings, and new closed sales. We saw new actives dropping week after week since about the middle of last month, and it evened out. It's the same number this week as last week, but it's not going up or down. We'll see if next week that downward trend continues. Pendings were roughly the same, but closed sales was higher, which was encouraging to see. And again, the big jump in pricing for median list price and median sales price. Here's a chart from Stephen Thomas's report, not the biweekly report he does, but once a month he does a report on overall sales for the county. This is for the month of June. This chart shows San Diego County, the percentage of closed sales that closed above the list price, and it's year over year. So we can see, for example, in 2022, tons of homes were selling for above the list price, and that dropped quite a bit as rates went up. Last year, in the blue line, we can see the number was increasing, leveled off, and went down. The number right now of the homes that close escrow for lower than list price is dropping, and it has been dropping over the last few weeks. So, and this chart shows the list price changes. 5% of all sales in June increased the list price, which is kind of interesting. That's a 20% decrease from May. The majority of homes sold for roughly didn't change their list price. So about 74% of all closed sales left the list price unchanged. They never increased it, and they never had a price drop. But 21% of closed sales in June experienced at least one price decrease. So you can see, and that number is going up. It's a 7% increase from May. So more homes are seeing price reductions. Okay, interest rates. How much do they matter? Well, look at the impact on affordability. This was, again, from Stephen Thomas. If your monthly desired payment is $5,000 This shows interest rate based on 5.5%, 5.75%, all the way up to 8%. And you can see how much home you can afford. For example, way over here at 8%, you can only afford $851,000. But if you look all the way down to 5.5, you can afford over $1.1 million home. That's with the mortgage payment, principal and interest only, with a 20% down. Right now, we're kind of hovering around 7. We're bouncing around, but they have been coming down. So if they were at 7.5, you can only afford $893,000 home. They go down to 7, you're already affording $940. It's a big jump, almost $47,000 increase in price that you can afford when rates come down. Here's another way to look at it. Look at the same rate chart, and if your payment was $45.42 versus $46.69, for example, in the 5.5 versus 5.75%, extra annual cost compared to April when rates were really high, you can see how much lower it costs to have a monthly payment. So that's a mortgage payment on $1 million home with an $800,000 loan. So again, $0 because this is the benchmark at the 7.5% rate. But if rates come down and keep going the direction they're going from 7.5 to 7 to 6.75, even 6.5%, look how much your payment drops from almost $5,600 a month down to $5,000 a month. It's a big drop. Greater affordability, more buyers coming in the market. When rates come down, more buyers come in the market. Will there be more sellers coming in the market as well to have more inventory for those buyers? If not, prices will keep going up. If they do, we'll have a little bit more of a healthy, balanced market. We'll have to wait and see. That's it for this week's Monday Market Moment. Don't forget to scan the QR code to track your home's value. If you have any questions about this information, feel free to give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, what have you. Love to answer any questions you have and how the current interest rate market and the real estate market might affect you. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching Monday Market Moment with Bryan Devore. To request a transcript of this week's report, send an email to brian@devorerealtygroup.com.